What's going on, guys? Welcome to my Descendant build series for the First Descendant. Today we're going over my builds for Yujin.
My dream is for you all not to get hurt. But nothing at all will get to me.
Now, Yujin is very different from the other Descendants. He's pretty much pure support. He does have a DPS build, but it's not going to rival more powerful Descendants like Luna, Esimo, or Ines. He is a non-attribute Descendant that uses technology to heal and buff his allies. The amount he heals is based on his own skill power times the target's max HP. This means that characters with higher HP, like Ajax, are going to receive larger heals than those with lower HP, which is a good thing because this makes the healing much more balanced across the board. His first ability is called Solidarity Healing. This attaches a drone to the target's shoulder, which gives a constant heal over time, or HOT. Once the drone's duration expires, however, the target is then given a buff to both firearm attack and skill power. Be careful of the meter though, because if you get too far away, it'll break the connection and you'll lose the drone, as seen here. Yujin's second ability, Restructure Serum, applies allergy to the target, which gives them a small dot. Each time the target is hit, nearby allies get healed, and once the enemy is killed, allies receive a larger heal. Now, note that this counts for anybody hitting and or killing the enemies. So basically your teammates will help heal themselves, which is nice, especially in a pinch. His third ability, Stimulant Spray, places a UFO-like disc over your allies' heads, which reduces incoming damage taken. Once this ability ends, allies are then healed X amount proportionate to the amount of damage received/reduced. His last ability is called Hyperactive Healing Ground, which basically makes you a mobile medbay. It places a circle around your feet, which heals and grants immunity to debuffs. This effect is increased by 50% for each Descendant and by 10% for each enemy that's standing within the circle. Note though, that while this ability is active, you can't use any other abilities or your guns. You simply run around and heal people. Simply press the aim or the fire button to break the circle and thus continue on with the fight. Yujin's passive is actually quite nice. It's called Stop Overreacting, and it allows him to pick up downed allies insanely fast. Also, while being revived by Yujin, you will be given a small HOT to help you get back into the fight faster. Now, the transmods that I'll be focusing on in this video are Duty and Sacrifice, First Aid Kit, and Proliferating Allergy. Proliferating Allergy is his DPS mod. This mod alters his second and basically makes him a baby Freyna. His allergy now causes burst damage to surrounding enemies and spreads the effect to said surrounding enemies. Very similar to Contagion. Simply apply the allergy and then kill the enemy to spread the effects. It does not auto-spread like Contagion. It does a decent amount of damage, and honestly it can be a lot of fun, especially if you want to play Yujin and you're tired of the peer support aspect of his kit. First Aid Kit changes his first ability to make it a placeable box, similar to Enzo's ammo crate. Multiple can be placed down at the same time, and players simply need to run through them to be healed. Although, unlike Enzo's ammo crate, once a player runs through the box is consumed. So keep that in mind and make sure you place more if this is the mod you choose to use. Duty and Sacrifice changes his fourth ability into a pulse instead of a ground ring, which allows you to use other abilities and fire your weapons while still being a highly effective healer. For his first support build, you'll want to use Duty and Sacrifice. This build is pure support, focusing on healing and buffing, and is great for groups in dungeon type content. The mods for this are Medical Support, Focus on Non-Attribute, MP Conversion, Increased HP, Nimble Fingers, Passionate Sponsor, Focus on Fusion, non-attribute amplification, HP amplification, and skill extension. His second support build uses First Aid Kit. This one is more focused on pure healing. This gives you a more controlled level of healing, allowing you to spread the boxes around for allies to use as needed. The mods for this are Energy Collection, Focus on Non-Attribute, Nimble Fingers, Increased HP, Non-Attribute Amplification, Safe Recovery, Medical Support, MP Conversion, Battle of Stamina, and Spear and Shield. Here is the RK tuning for these two builds, and you'll want to use the Fusion Tech Tuning Monster Cell. For the DPS build, you'll want to use Proliferating Allergy. This increases your damage output while also still giving you access to your heals and buffs, which is nice. The mods for this build are Focus on Fusion, Power Increase, MP Conversion, Increased HP, Non-Attribute Amplification, Shot Focus, MP Collector, Nimble Fingers, HP Amplification, and Skill Expansion. Note, you can also swap out Focus on Fusion for Focus on Singular if you want your allergy to hit a bit more. Though, it didn't really seem to make a big difference to me, but you do you. For bossing, you'll want to use Duty and Sacrifice, though you can use First Aid Kit with this build if you prefer. It's just up to you and your playstyle. This build works really well for bossing, even the higher threat fights like Deathstalker and the Void Abyss. The mods for this are Medical Support, Overwhelming Shield, MP Conversion, Increased HP, Nimble Fingers, Safe Recovery, Focus on Fusion, Focus on Non-Attribute, Increased Shield, and an Outstanding Investment. And here are the RK tuning for both of these builds. And you'll want to use the Singular Fusion Tuning Mutant Cell. For Yujin, you'll want to use a Fusion Reactor. And for the external components, I use the Enlightened Mage set. This is how I have my inversion reinforcement set up. For the weapons, I use the Blue Beetle, the Malevolent, and the Thunder Cage, depending on what I'm doing and what I need it for. Blue Beetle is great because of the buff it gives you. And here are the builds for those. Now, Yujin is really widely hated, but honestly he's a great character, especially if you're into support and or healer type playstyles. But he's obviously not for everyone, and I understand that. But give him a try, you might be surprised. Check out my other Descendant build videos, and please feel free to ask any questions you may have about this build or about Yujin himself. And that's it for this video, guys. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Later.